So, welcome everybody to the first of so many things. This is the first training of 2019.
Yeah.
This is the first of the Agent 101 series. This is the first of our Tuesday night trainings. This is the first training in our new office. So this is just awesome for so many reasons. So thank you for coming out tonight, and hopefully we're going to be able to make it truly worth your while. So the goal with the 101 series is to kind of, for new agents, help them get off on the right foot. For experienced agents, to kind of reiterate the foundations to make sure you are hitting on all your cylinders, right? And I've spoken to several people in the last week, and agents specifically, and we're all in agreement that while the experts were saying this was going to be a pretty slow year, we've gotten off to a freaking rocking start. It's amazing how many people have come to the market, how many people are getting pre-qualified, and everything is lining up for 2019 to just be even better. So we just want to leverage every single possible thing we can for the benefit, right? So I know we have experience at this table, which is kind of cool because it's going to allow us to have a different perspective. Because for people who have never made a sale ever, you can expect and plan for everything, but you still won't know until you've experienced it. You know, it's one of those things. On several levels, there's a lot of anticlimactic things that happen in real estate. But at the same time, there are some of the biggest highs and the lowest of lows, you know? And for some of us, it's what makes it exciting. I couldn't live in a world of going into the same office expecting the same thing day after day after day after day. You know, I just couldn't, my spark would go out pretty quickly. I don't know. Some people love safety. Some people love that just predictability, I guess you can say. So,
Josh, us older people need repetition until we get it.
there you go. Well, and it's amazing. If you don't use it, you lose it. Flat out. I mean, you could, there's certain things that I've done 200 times that if I go a month without doing, I'll come back and be like, which one was it again? You know, it's silly. And, okay, for example, reviewing the spuds. How many days?
You have,
5 days.
5 days?
yes.
Okay, reviewing the CC&Rs.
Oh, I think that is in the first 48 hours?
Yeah.
See, that's what we're going to verify, these little details, because these are the ins and outs. And if we're not literally using them weekly, that in and out,
Exactly.
you're gonna second guess. It might be 3, it might be 5. We know that they're going to be either 3 or 5, but you never want to think it's 5 and find out it's 3.
Right.
You know, and that's a prime example. So there are no bad trainings, ever. You know, so so if you don't mind, let's go ahead and I'd like to go around and talk about what brought us here really quick and what your goals are from real estate. So kind of what got you into real estate and what are you hoping to get out of it?
I got into real estate because you and Dad kept saying that I would be good at real estate. Sucker.
Is there a pen? Keep talking, I'm just looking for a pen really quick.
Oh,
There's
well,
one
you
on
know
my
what?
desk.
In this office over here,
There's a bunch of them.
Is that over there?
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
but I got into real estate because the guys just kept encouraging me, and I thought, looking at what, you know, Mike was doing in property management, I thought I could be a good right hand for him and stuff. And then I love working with people, so I thought whether I was the listing or the purchasing, that I could be fun with people and stuff. So that's why I got into real estate.
Nice. And so, 2019, or total career, but what are your goals? What are you hoping
Well,
to
you know
do?
what I think is cool? This is going to be, come August, it's going to be, I think, 4 years that I've been in real estate. It's like, really? So, in my first 2 years, I did 3 transactions. Yeah, that doesn't include all of the rentals. But then, my last 2 years, I did 6 transactions. And so, it looks, I think, you know, my goal would be to double that,
12?
if not more.
12 more?
You know, And so I've seen myself, I think, get better and better every year, because more and more of the systems are being put into place,
That's awesome.
so.
That's awesome, Walt. Very cool.
Yep.
All right, Brad, Carrie, who wants to go?
I got into it because I've always been self-employed. I can't stand, like you, I can't stand working behind a desk. And I love people. I grew up in the building industry. My dad, built homes, grew in construction. So I've always had that love of decorating and building and fixing and whatnot, so. And then I enjoy just having everybody, how happy they are. For them, they finally get to reach their dreams. And that's what gives me the most satisfaction. People, oh my gosh, I can't believe how this went so well, or, or hey, just because it went bad, but you kept saying that. I try to comfort them and let them know that, hey, things are gonna work out, there's gonna be bumps in the road.
Yeah.
So I got into it for that reason, and then I got out of it for a while because of the economy, what happened, everything dumped, 2007 and 8. But I've always had in the back of my mind wanting to get back into it again. And I've been in commercial, I've been in, done that, I've been into leasing. I was at new homes, I've sold new homes in the new home sales office.
Yeah.
And so I've done a little bit of some things,
Yeah.
but I just love to do what I do. My goal this year is, the last 8 months has been really bad for me, and the last couple of years. But this year is, I'm blooming and I'm blossoming this year. Everything's gone. So my goal this year is to build a residual. Because I'm getting older, I'm single, I need to have something.
Yeah.
So I want to start working into that. And I also want to start going into getting at least one transaction every month to month and a half. That's my goal.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
And to get a couple investors, which I've already kind of started getting. Thank God, thank you Jesus. Just get a couple investors and keep them going. Because that's what's, as long as you're happy, they're happy, they're going to keep coming back to
They're
you.
gonna keep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And with the way we're set up,
Yep.
that'll work out great for property management, residual, etc. And, oh yeah, there's so many benefits to investors, so many benefits.
It is, yeah.
Of
So,
course,
and
they
then-
always buy affordable stuff for the most part, which is kind of a pain in the butt,
Yeah.
but definitely makes up in so many other ways.
Yes. But also definitely is to work full-time in real estate, that's my goal.
Go full-time.
Full-time, I'm tired of working these part-time gigs.
Yeah, get that.
Nice. Awesome. Fred?
Well, the reason I got in it was to make money. I came from a very satisfying career into real estate. And
What was that?
I worked for the phone company 27 years.
Wow.
As in, like, one of
Like
the
Ma
bell
Bell?
companies?
Ma Bell?
Yeah?
Well, it was Mountain Bell when I worked for
It was a
them.
bell company, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mountain Bell.
And I was able to, never got bored, and I worked several different departments until I became a supervisor. Then I started coordinating large office changeouts. We were upgrading to electronic equipment from mechanical, and I oversaw a lot of that. In fact, I had, I think, 5 offices going at one time here in Phoenix.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Then after that, when I got through with those, I was assigned the job to coordinate the new enhanced E911 system for both Phoenix and Tucson.
Oh,
Is
wow.
that what it enabled them to do everything together? Like, the E911 system? is?
E911 was enhanced.
Okay.
that's because we had better equipment to handle it.
Yeah.
But I worked with hundreds of government people, because there was a lot of government people involved.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's neat.
Yeah.
So did you retire from there,
I
or?
retired from the phone company, yeah, so
Okay.
I don't have it too bad, but yeah, I've been retired since 1986.
Oh, my
Very
goodness.
nice.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then that's when you got your license?
I got my license before my retirement was in effect, yeah.
Good job.
But my job, when I first started working, was working for a development company, doing pre-leasing for the projects we were building.
Oh.
And that was all commercial,
Yeah.
commercial, retail and office.
So you jumped right into the commercial side right
Oh,
off the
yeah,
bat.
I'm just now starting to
You're a resident?
do residence. I don't even consider a multifamily unit a residence. I mean, commercial, but it is.
And I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Multifamily.
It's its own
Is
little
it after
weird
4 or
niche.
5? 4? Is it 4 houses or 4?
Over 4
Over
is
4, yeah.
commercial, yeah. But even then, most people still find it a weird, not commercial.
Well,
Yeah.
You gotta think about it too, because you got property management, or you have to manage those properties, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess when you think that somebody bought it and is using it to make money,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when I quit that job of working with construction development, I just went into management of commercial properties and acquisitions.
Yeah.
So I did sell one big apartment building. It was over a $5 million deal. So
Wow, yeah.
and that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. When was that?
Phew. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to contact him again and see if he's in the market too.
Was that? Yeah. I mean, like it was that 80s, 90s when.
Probably 90s, yeah.
Yeah. Because even man,
He
that
was
building
a
today would
Jewish
be.
man from New York.
That same building is probably $12 million today, probably.
Yeah, if he's still
Yeah,
in the man.
it was a big compartment unit down in Papago.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah,
Both of you.
if he still owns it.
That's
I don't know,
cool.
I'm gonna find out though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on.
I'm going after it.
So your goal is to start off, let's say, because we could break it down to 1 a month, 2 a month. Like, do you want to go by the end of the year? Like, what is your goal as far as bringing on
At least one a month.
1 a month? So 12 for the year.
And I'm searching 20 to 200 units.
Perfect.
Your dad doesn't want to really cover anything higher than 200 at this point in time.
No, not until you get a little better with
Yeah,
systems.
and that
That's
makes
great.
sense. You know, why burden yourself down with large complexes that would just drive you nuts, you know?
Now, my question is, are we gonna have enough personnel to cover all of these, or we're gonna be hiring, or?
The nice thing, the beauty is, well, we'll get into that in the, next week, but yeah,
Okay.
the beauty is, there's no shortages of actual leasing agents and on-site staff, okay? And as we take them on, we have the systems here to be able to handle it.
Okay.
Between the trust accounts, between rent manager, paid lease, we may be switching to Yardi, and between the staff, that's why it's so much better.
Electronic.
Because we work out the budget with the owners, the staff is there on site handling whoever, and that's the key though, is we have to be on the staff. Until we had the right staff in Royal Village, it was dying, but the moment we had the right village, the right staff, it just exploded and it was perfect. Okay.
And my goal is to have residual income with not having to work so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to retire officially.
yes.
Yeah. And that's part of.
And you give us that opportunity for us to be able to not take a commission on the deal, but have residual income off of the.
Right.
Well, hopefully both. That's the ultimate goal. If you could sell the property and bring it into management, all the better. That's how property management was formed. Is that I've made a living off of the commissions, and then just gave it to management, you know, in hopes of growing it, and then someday it's going to take care and pay for everybody. The goal with it is to really set it up because I don't want to formulate the whole thing after Josh's plan because there's a billion ways to make real estate happen. I know what I was able to put into place, and I know the natural, neutral things that everybody can do that can enable them to not let things fall through the cracks. For example, life has a tendency to get in the way. Everybody, you have these huge plans, and then by noon, it's all gone to crap.
Right.
And that's how almost everybody operates. And the goal with the Agent 101 series is to really kind of, number one, step back to zero and not redo, but kind of go through everything to make sure everything is set up. And so, if we can, and this is where it might be good for everything, because the property management stuff, that's going to be, let's actually do that next Thursday. And that's not one we're going to be able to blast out to the whole group, but that's why we have the Tuesdays, because we're still going to have stuff out for the people.
When you
That's
say
great.
next
Thursday, the 17th.
10 o'clock? The
Yeah.
10 o'clock?
We have, the Tuesday night class is going to be kind of it's a revolving 9 weeks of Agent 101.
And it's always at 6:30 on Tuesday.
Yep, and it has 9 different themes for right now. We may add, who knows. So tonight is basically getting it started. Let's get your marketing going and get you up and running, all right? And then next week, I need to pull up the details. Next week, I think, goes through, we have week 4, for example, a lender coming in, going through the ins and outs of the lending process, how they do stuff, underwriting, appraisals, ins and outs, just so people can know that.
That's on the Thursday though, right?
No, it's
One-on-one.
it's the
Oh, it's 101.
yep.
With
The lending process is one of the 101s. It's a complete education for anybody. We have the escrow process, we have the buyer contract, the listing contract, MLS, zip forms. Is that what next week is? MLS?
What? Hold on a sec, because
I'm
in
almost
the
positive it is.
calendar-
I think it's tonight's, let's get your marketing started and get everything out there. That way next week we'd be looking at properties, finding properties, doing that stuff. Then hopefully week 3,
Zip.
needing contracts. So I think that's how I set it up. Let's get it going so you actually will need the rest of it, In my opinion, that's what came first, is marketing. You could be the best agent in the world, but if nobody knows it, you're not going to help many people. So that's the overview of what the 9 weeks are. And then it basically ends with, now that you have all your basics, let's find your niche, because there's so many great fields in real estate, from commercial to multifamily, different commercial. There's the people, I forget their names, but all they do is sell churches. I love that that's their niche. There's other people that only do ranch properties, land, multi-million-dollar properties, active adult communities,
Cemetery lots.
cemeteries. Exactly. So, yeah. So that's what the series basically is. So please spread the word. I'm trying to, this year, the growth of Breakthrough, I want it to be as natural as possible. I don't want to, of course we'll do ads and things like that, but I really would love to rely on the value that we offer will naturally attract people. And that's my goal. Is we've spent 3 years trying to find our way, and we finally found it, I think. We have our new office, we have our core great staff, we have our vision, we have everything, and it's great. For a brokerage to truly survive, and this is, I think, more people need to know the basics for brokerage, and I think it will help people understand. As much as any brokerage would love to just have every agent succeed, the laws are the laws, and we're gonna defy the averages, no doubt about it. But in our world, that means 60% of agents naturally are not going to even renew their license. That's just, it's a sad fact. So if we can keep, let's say, 8 out of 10, we're rocking. Okay, so we kept 8 out of 10. We totally whoop the average. Well, how many of the agents actually make sales? The national average is half the agents make a sale. So of who we have, half will. So let's say we can take that up just a little bit. You know, it's the averages are just it's sad. So my goal is to, by the end of this year, I want to take Breakthrough to 40 agents. Okay? And if we can get to 40 agents, that should enable us to, number one, whoop our goal from last year. We did a little over 20 million, okay? With 40 agents, we should easily break 30 million, okay? If we break 30 million, that would actually set us up where we could potentially start looking at potentially another office,
Like satellite offices.
potentially, like actually to do an East Valley office or a West Valley office.
Gotcha.
But with that amount, it'll actually feed management pretty significantly. And then by feeding management, that's actually going to help feed the handyman company.
Right.
And handyman services, between all of them, it's going to enable Breakthrough. I have so many goals for Breakthrough and what I want to be able to offer into. Like, for example, I don't want to be 1,000 agents like Revelation, right? If we get to our 40, we'll be able to do very fun things together, and potentially, if we hit our yearly goal, go like close the office for a week and go on a trip.
Oh, heavy.
You know, we're just things like that. Do quarterly stuff. You know, Mom's a huge football. Eventually, if we can get season tickets and use those as a reward for people. You know, I don't necessarily. I'm not looking to just be this huge lavish whatever. I want to make this the fun place to be that
Right.
can give back to the agents, because that's, once we reach that level, that's huge motivation.
Right.
Mom, what would you do for, like, you know, for tickets for the Cardinals?
I'll stand on my head. I'd even go naked.
So
Cardinals, they chose a coach.
Yeah, they got a coach today.
Did they
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
He's
his
only
name
12
is-
years old.
Well, yeah, he's from Texas U&M. No, Texas,
Yeah,
So they're gonna groom him so that in 12 years
he's
he'll be
39
ready
years
to-
old.
he's young.
39.
Really?
Yeah, and he was he just got promoted in December to be a offensive coach.
Now, was
He's a
he-
collegiate coach. isn't
Now,
he?
is
Right,
he the
collegiate.
head? I
He's-
was gonna say, was he a college
Yeah,
coach?
he's
Was
college-
he the
collegiate
head
coach.
Yeah,
coach?
Texas U&M.
So what's his specialty? Is it
I
is
don't
it
know.
quarterback or
I
is
don't know, but
it?
he's younger and he's got a lot more
Vision.
vision and
Drive.
going towards the players. The players
Yeah.
like him, like him.
Well,
That's good.
I think he has to work with his staff too. He can't do it by himself.
No.
He's got to choose a good staff.
So that means Larry will stay put for maybe a year and help groom him?
Probably.
Hopefully.
I
Probably.
hope so. I don't want to
Speaking
see rid
of-
of Patrick Peterson.
Sorry to get back
But
on
that's-
topic,
Sorry
but
about
off
that.
topic. Well, guess who came back today as well? Gary Keller came back to Keller Williams. He's officially in
Really?
charge as CEO again. They fired the Davis guy. Yeah. Yeah, so Gary Keller has stepped back as head of his company to.
Really?
Redirect him.
Yep.
Redirected, because
Yeah.
were they kind of not doing well? I haven't
It's-
kept track.
If you've been following them, they're not at the powerhouse they used to be. You know, you have the EXPs who came in and just took over. You have HomeSmart that also took over. You have Realty One who's kind of taken over their thing. There's a lot of competition now. They're still not small, but they haven't been progressing nearly as they wanted to. Gary's been ruffling a lot of feathers because they're doing their own lending. And there's a lot of people a lot of agents who's our best partner and referral basis, etc. It's our lenders. And the way they're offering it, a lot of people think it's against the law and blah, blah, blah. So he's been ruffling a lot of feathers. And then when he did his big thing at Inman, he went off. Like, it was weird. And the crowd was really put off. And then next thing you know, so over the last year, Gary himself, and I think it's just been a sign that he's very frustrated with where things are, and he wants to take it somewhere. So I'm anxious to see what he wants to do, because he did it under the guise of information. They are tracking data from everything, everywhere. They've partnered with people, and they are tracking purchase power, buying things. I mean, he basically wants to make this like, you know, one of those sci-fi things where you slide your thing across and it has your bank account, your credit score, everything,
Right.
and you walk over here and it's like, here, you're already pre-qualified for your car, here you go. It's like, I just walked onto the dealership. Okay, but yeah, here you go, you know? It's like, really, it's some crazy stuff. So, we'll see, because,
I
yeah.
just heard on the radio on the way over here that there's a real estate agency that you can go online and start bidding on these houses.
Yeah, is it kind of like, it's like the open door concept, what
I just
is
heard a
the
little bit of it.
other-
There's been some auction sites that have come and gone, but I haven't seen any of them truly stick.
I didn't get the name of it, I was
Yeah.
driving, and they said that you just listen and then you have people bidding on that house.
Yeah.
And that way you get more for the home. There's more,
Yeah. That's the way Australia does it naturally. You hire an agent, give them a budget, and then a flat commission, and then they market to people, and then the day of the auction, hopefully you have 30 people out front bidding on your house. And they'll sell right then and there.
Like
You
somebody
could sell
fix-
6 homes in one day.
Fix and flip things on television all the time, as well as
Yeah.
couples.
They're talking about it. The dual-sidedness of our market is not great, and so there's a lot of talk of going to something more similar to that because it's very straightforward. It's very easy. The two parties are right there, and you
Yep.
just handle the transaction.
Right.
You know, and the people have to be pre-qualified, obviously, for them to be able to bid, and it makes it pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so if you don't mind, we just got a little bit, and there's just a couple things I want to do. So if we can, you said that you'd like to sell a few, you'll sell a few, and naturally, I mean, last year you sold 2 or 3, or didn't you? You sold a couple last year. Yeah. See, it's amazing how.
And I don't sell homes.
Yeah. So just do what Fred does, and you'll sell a couple homes a year, no matter what. He's just a social, awesome guy. For example, okay, let's start off with that, because you all live in very unique communities.
We all live in the same community.
Well, and Fred has the benefit of 2 different communities.
Yeah.
Yeah, which both kind of utilize the same thing. So, as a new agent, or an agent that just wants to take it this year and explode, the secret is to not be a secret, right? So, as a new agent, and throw this out as if it's you, that you in the next month are going to run out and you're going to try to tackle these things. What would be some of the best things you could do that would get your word out that, number 1, you're an agent, number 2, the market, all that good fun? What are the means you would have to get out to everybody?
Go to the title company, have them make up flyers, and then go door to door. Down
Door to
the
door.
Dove Valley area.
All right,
I've
that's
always said I
fine.
should do that, but I just,
If you ever want to go door to door, call me. I will always go door to door knocking with you.
I just
Absolutely.
love Dove Valley area. There are so
Heck
many
yeah.
people in that area.
That's not only a good plan, but it's the most reasonable cost that you could get into
Yeah.
up front.
Well, it's exercise. You
It's
get
free.
yeah, you have for face-to-face.
Just leg power.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, face-to-face contact, absolutely. And one of the best things right now, so let's go ahead and leverage that, because a lot of people won't do it because you don't know what you're going to send out. Historically speaking, right now, for example, boop-a-doop boop, oh, I don't have MLS up. What is right now is market, it's so grammatically terrible. Right now, what is our market like?
It's rocking.
Well,
Absolutely.
we still don't
Yeah,
have, yes.
Is it a,
It's-
keep going.
It's a seller's
It's a
market.
seller's market.
absolutely. Okay, so that being said, does it behoove a seller right now to maybe take a look at the
Yes.
market?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right? So let's say you said Dove Valley?
Yes.
Boop, boop. Boop.
Is
Okay.
that in Tonopah?
No, that's.
Okay, so
I bet you
Dove,
Tonopah is gonna be jumping though.
oh, since,
Yeah,
Isn't
it's
it
already,
interesting, especially with
they've
Yeah.
already taken a percentage increase since.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's already,
But
I think
now-
it was a 10% already they've seen.
So
that
where is
area.
Highway 11?
Exactly, where is that at Highway
So
11?
is that, how close is that getting to coming there, so,
Yeah.
Do you
And
know
where is it
what's
coming
bringing
from?
in Highway 11?
Las Vegas?
Trade from Mexico to Canada.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
All right.
it's,
Yep.
it's the new NAFTA.
So
Yeah.
let me give you this. Let me give you the quickest way to cherry pick the homes that you might want to do. So since you mentioned Dove Valley, here's 120.
All right.
All right, that's a lot. Let's just go ahead and go with the closed. Okay. We can come back to active in a minute, right? Wow, that's still a lot. But
Close within
it'll
the
work
last
for the
minute.
CMA. Well, here's what we really want to do, because 6 months is a little long, you're right, but look at this,
The
okay?
average market though is how much?
90. The average home sold for 98%, but look at this. What's that one there?
One.
1.6. Well, $1.06 means 6% over
Mhm.
asking price.
Mhm.
So let's come down and let's find that one. All right, so right over here, okay, so unfortunately there's a lot of these. What we can look at right here is, okay, so right over here you have original list price, OLP,
Right.
list price, and sales price. So what we want to do is come down and any of the ones,
That's sold
where-
for more than the list.
exactly. So here you got 3, that's $100 over, that doesn't really count.
There you go, 353. Keep coming, keep coming down, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep, one more, right there. 353.
Okay, so that one sold for, okay, so
349, yeah.
that's 3 or 4,000 over. Then this one sold for 3,000 over.
And then they'll look at the
Okay.
370 right there.
Well, yep. Oh, there we go. That's the one. All right, so 350, 581, 9250. And what was the address?
The address is
48th place?
4731 East Amberson Drive.
Oh, that one. My bad. For the good one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. I went to the wrong one. Sorry about that. Okay, so view results. Okay, and what was 3? We were up to 370.
Amber, uh-huh.
Close to 370.
Okay, so we're almost there. There. Okay, so number one, I would do a more succinct CMA for the neighborhood, right? But highlight some of the better sales.
Right, exactly.
And here's, okay, so this one sold in, well, how long it took to sell isn't the big thing, so
yeah.
53 days,
Mhm.
but it literally sold for that much over asking price. And they did give $6,000 back, but that's still over asking price.
Yeah.
It's still over asking price, even with the concessions.
Mhm.
So this one's legit, it legitimately sold for over asking price,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So, number one, go into when you're talking to the neighbor, pretend, who wants to door knock with me? I'll be the
Knock, knock.
realtor. Okay, knock knock. It's like,
Hi,
hi,
how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, can I help you?
Well, my name's Josh, I'm a realtor with Breakthrough Real Estate, and just wanted to say, your neighborhood is on fire. Are you the homeowner?
Oh my God, call the fire department.
Exactly. Not in that way, but it might as well be. Basically, did you know your neighbor over here sold in like basically 2 months, but did you realize that they sold for like 6% over asking
That's
price?
pretty good. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, like, I would take $10,000 over my list price any day,
Exactly.
seriously. So, right now, there are not enough homes in your neighborhood. Look at this, and you would show them the actives, be like, look at this. There has never been a better time to sell, and we have buyers that are looking in your neighborhood.
Mhm.
Have you considered selling?
Well, we just moved here, so no.
Okay.
No, but yeah, okay.
Ideally, well,
Yeah.
you can come prepared with that one. With Cole and everything, you could actually cherry pick the people and actually door knock specifically the ones who have been there for more than 4 years.
Right, yeah.
Like, you could actually pull up in the neighborhood, like, here's the benefit of Monsoon. There's so many different ways to cherry pick things that'll put them in your favor.
Yeah.
So, you could go door to door to door and risk that, but I would almost cherry pick, if you're gonna go for Dove Valley, on this one, I would go to the people you know bought in the last 4 years,
Mhm.
because they have the equity,
Right.
hands down.
Right.
Right, and so you could go to Cole and you could actually get there a lot of information from there. But
Right.
right here in Monsoon, they have so many different search criteria that we never utilize. My computer's been weird. Watch this. I have to hit it if, like, there you go. I have to hit it twice. So, boom, boom, boom. Where is it? Sale date. There you go. So, forgive me, I always get, this is one. I don't use it often enough, so I forget which one I want to do. Do you want to say max date? It's the max date, right?
Well, tell me where you're going with this.
Sale date. Sale date. Is it, so I
So
want
the
to
max
go,
would be how long it was on the market, right?
It
No.
sold in November.
and that would be
It
the
was on
max.
That would, and that it was listed in the,
In
53
September?
days before that
Yeah,
or
so
something,
September.
Okay, so if we did this and we did Dove Valley, and then we went, let's say we went from here, and then we wanted people who were, let's say, 2000, let's say purchased 2011. Okay, so we're gonna go, everybody bought their house between 2011 and 2015.
Okay,
but
so
that's
you
more
need to
than 4
change,
years,
because
though.
you've got 7,
Well, they purchased it at least 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, which gives them equity, but 2011 was the fall.
Oh,
So, no matter what, these are the people who would have the most equity in
Oh.
their home.
okay, gotcha.
There's no wrong or right
Right.
way per se, but you just want to try to give yourself the best chance. So there you go. This is everybody who bought their home in Dove Valley. 443 properties total,
wow.
and this wouldn't even be all of them. Like you
Look
can
at
see that this one.
102. Holy cow.
Yeah, which one, where's that address at?
Yeah.
That must be on the hill.
And then you could
Yeah,
say,
Fairview Highway.
then right here you could say is my primary residence
Mhm.
or secondary. You know, you can narrow this down pretty good to whatever you want to really give yourself the best shot.
Mhm.
So now we're down to 318.
Wow.
Okay, and then you can say, you know, do you want to, the best homes, you know, fit
And look at
200
the
square
prices
feet,
back then, they were so inflated.
2,300.
$400,000 and $500,000 for those houses, now they're 2 and 3.
There you
Is
go.
Dove Valley all along Carefree Highway going towards Cave Creek?
Yeah.
Not all the way, but yeah, pretty close. All
So
the way
here you
down
go.
to-
Yeah, here's 165
Wow.
right there, and that so, and then stick with these. You
And
know,
then from there, and so here you have the actual contact person.
Right.
Okay.
And you can always go in there to see if they're still there, by their tax records.
yeah, well, this is the tax record.
Oh,
so
it
this
is a tax record, okay.
Yeah, we're in Monsoon right now, so you've narrowed it down to like
Oh, okay.
160 people in Dove Valley that probably could sell.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that would prevent them from selling is if they would have refied like these people did last month. Yeah. You know, so if that's gonna obviously impact it if they did a cash out refi. You know, whatever. But you could look them all, you could look this stuff up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, these people bought,
Look at that, then sale price down more, so 346 and they refinanced 377, so they took like 25,000 equity to do something, huh?
A pool or something.
yeah, and they switched to conventional, well too, so I don't know if they just refied as a whole or did just a cash out. That's the hard part, when it shows 0-0, you know they refied, but you don't know
Yeah.
why or how.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but see, isn't that interesting that when you think in 2010, look at this, so 198, and then, so a short sale,
Yep.
no, it wasn't a short sale,
Trustees sale.
trustee, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then,
So they
then it
foreclosed.
went to.
Looks like she got married.
Mhm.
He
Interesting.
went real estate, 240, $48,000 down.
Yeah, she
And
did
then
good.
she got married,
Yeah, she made like 100 grand.
But look at
across
the,
month. She
and
sells
then when the
first.
market was really above 385, isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you got a bunch here, so if you want, you know, in this case, if you're gonna do it this way, you're weeding it down to a good group,
Yeah.
you know, that's gonna give you the most ammunition, right? You found a couple good sales, they'd be like, this home sold, and if you find another one on that same street, it's
Yeah.
like your neighbor right here, you know,
Right.
make sure you're utilizing that. Now, you go back and you tackle it on the other side, and you find the niche inside their neighborhood of, is there anywhere that they would be the only active home? You know, if you ever find one like that, it's like, wow, well, have you thought about selling your home? Because literally, you're the only active one right
Right.
now.
Exactly. Yeah, people are looking for this area.
Yeah, and you can use the Tom Ferry. When one home sells, 2 others sell right away. Why is that? Because people saw that home and missed out. So you
Yep.
need some more. So, right, 13, 15, 16, 18, 21, you know, so you'd have to narrow it down to the kind of home you were looking at in particular. Yeah, because we've got the one in Peoria here too. We got Peoria and Cave Creek, which we should have narrowed it down.
Even surprises in there, I saw.
Yeah, there's a lot of Dove Valleys. So, but, yeah, Dove Valley right there in Surprise.
And those are spec homes, look there.
So, okay, so I'm a huge fan of this. If you live in the neighborhood, if you have a neighborhood you want to target, it's one of your best ways to get face to face. And then at the same time, you could leverage the same tactic to keep hitting the same neighborhood. After, how many times do you think it takes for somebody to see your face, to hear your name, for it to actually register that you are a competent professional or whatever? So, your other benefit that you can do is, if you want to tackle Dove Valley, is start trying to do opens in that neighborhood. So,
Call some agents, say, hey, can I do an open house for you?
yep, and okay, so we did the CMA, right? So the average close was what, approximately 360 for 2,300 square feet? Okay, so what would be a cool thing to do? Let's try to find an active home.
360 for,
If you had the perfect home, what would it be?
20,
What,
2,400 square feet.
okay, and then what else? Because if you're gonna do an open, pick the perfect.
3 bedroom, 2.5 bath,
There you go, 3 to 4 bedroom, absolutely. Let's go 2.5 bath.
bath,
Yep.
At least
a
2,400.
pool.
There you go, absolutely. Let's say
Yeah.
2,200 plus, and let's not go above like 27, because that's when it gets kind of a little
Yeah.
too big. And then definitely a pool.
And those are all newer homes anyway, so, but there are some older ones in there, but private pool.
Yep. And then, what would be the final thing that is just great in the Phoenix area?
3-car garage,
Yes.
or a RV gate for their toys.
Out there, yeah, especially.
Because you're lit by Lake Pleasant. Although there's not a,
Oh, I gotta get rid of that.
Are most of those homes out there on a little bit of acreage?
no,
No?
no.
Why did it move over?
Now, the closer you get into
Back.
Carefree or Cave Creek,
Oh,
then
go
you got
back.
acre lots with all the horse properties and stuff, but in this area, no, it's strictly, and that area is going so quickly. You know, in the emergency room
Make it
there,
come back over. I want it.
Charlotte, you know, the emergency, the hospital there, you know,
Yeah.
they're building, buildings in front of it right now.
Are they
This morning I saw them out there working.
like medical buildings or?
Because that whole area is zoned nothing but medical, not nurse.
Really? How cool is that?
Okay.
Can you slide it over, like move, take the arrow and move it over?
That whole area is just booming, it's just crazy.
Oh,
What is going on? It won't let me move it.
that's weird.
It moved to the left and it won't let me move it back to the right now. I can't uncheck on the left-hand
I
side over
know,
here.
that's happened to me, and I don't know why. Can you try changing, go up to the right-hand corner and make it smaller?
Refresh or?
Yeah, I tried. Oh, it did. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, be good, be good, be good. There we go. Okay. Now we should have some pop up. Really?
None.
Okay, let's get rid of square feet. Okay, so 2.
3-car garage and a pool. That's rare, 3-car garage and a pool.
Alright, these are both the Cave Creek versions. So we're gonna have to whittle it down over here to, oops, oh geez. Yeah, because the ones in Cave Creek were definitely the more expensive of the bunch.
So you want
Yeah.
more of the Peoria area?
Yeah, we either or, you know, but the only ones that have the full gamut are the ones in Cave Creek.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's get rid of the 3-car garage for right now.
yeah. And
And
I'm sure a few more
then
pop up.
we'll
Oh,
put-
look, yep, 6.
Yeah.
An RV gate, well, they probably have an RV gate then, or maybe not.
There we go.
Yeah, that's better. On the
Oh.
Peoria and Tonopah, or Peoria though,
This one right here. What was the average price of the solds?
262 something.
Wasn't it 360 something?
360, yeah.
Yeah, so you have several like, oh, that's a 2,000 square foot, one story.
But this is in Peoria.
Yeah. You want to do the Cave Creek?
Oh, okay, doesn't matter, no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we just need to, when you do your official CMA, you don't want to combine the two.
Exactly, yeah.
In my rush to kind of do
Alright.
this with you guys, I didn't weed them down. So you got your two in Cave Creek, which are $100,000 more. So it's a great neighborhood.
It
They're
is, I know
also,
it is,
they're
I
also
know.
almost 1,000 square feet more.
Yeah, this one jumps out at me because look at the price per square foot of it compared to everybody else.
133,
Yeah.
133.
Because this one right here is 150, this one right here is 150, and this one right here 156. So this one right here, 2-story, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,400 square feet, has the pool. It just doesn't have the 3-car garage.
Right.
But this is the best value in the neighborhood.
Right.
See, you could sell that all day
133,
long.
Yeah, $133 a square foot for that price.
That's $20 a square foot. Yeah, it's easy to sell the best value in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, given it's not a complete tear down, but this is great home, energy efficient, save money on. Oh, so I guess it's got solar, so that's probably why they marked it down a little bit.
Is it a rental or lease? Or lease or purchase?
No, it's a purchase.
It's vacant.
No, I mean the solar panels. Because a lot of people,
Yeah.
you have to lease the panels or.
AutoCAD.
Well, what's nice,
Well, you know
my
what?
clients now they have it. It only boiled down to the people's debt to income ratio. Because there's no qualifying. If you
Oh.
can, if according to is it Solar City? I forget who they have. As long as you qualify for the home, you qualify for the lease.
Okay, because that's what I was wondering.
The only thing that'll mess it up is that extra. I think theirs are $88 a month or something like that. So they can't let that screw up their debt to income ratios. You know, because if they buy the house, they also have to qualify for that 88 bucks.
Right,
Now,
exactly.
let me ask something. This is an offer pad. And so, isn't that another reason why it's low as far as what the asking price is?
Could be.
That's an offer?
But normally what they do is they buy it low from the person and then they mark it up some, but.
It's really hard to
No
say
such
exactly
clue.
why this one hasn't.
It says seller has never
Backyard has a
identified-
pool and covered porch, I can't really read it.
Other than the fact that this has been, the Christmas season and it's the slowest season,
Oh, and look at the tile floor.
tear out that wall right there, you beat money.
Oh, I know. I hate those dividers like that. Look at that
Yeah.
staircase. Ugh. Railings on
That
it.
could be really pretty with the
With
right
railings,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I personally love the vaulted ceilings.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, my kitchen is just bare. Oh my
And
gosh.
look
You-
at how small.
It is for that big
You have a
house.
whopping 1, 2, 3, 4 cabinets because above the microwave that's a vent.
I know,
So
but you don't know what's on the wall over here though. I mean, it should have been a big wraparound kitchen.
At least
Oh my gosh,
where the
there's
fridge
nothing
is.
there. Oh my gosh, that is terrible.
wow.
It's a decent pantry.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that is funny.
Wow.
That is
Wow.
a terrible kitchen for that area. I mean, they could have made it all the way to the wall.
And it's
I mean,
tiled.
it looks like it's
Tile
got
tile counters, too.
a decent island, but
Yeah.
still.
Well, you got basic oak cabinets that I think are barely 32 inches or
Yeah.
so,
Look at all
With-
that
That
wasted
is
with
nice.
space.
ginormous
Yeah.
handles.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, yeah, they could have built the
Why
whole kitchen
all-
down
Oh,
and
yeah.
around, wrapped it around.
Yeah. And
And
look
look
at how,
at the
I love
markings.
that. I love how you can actually look over on both sides.
Mhm.
That is cool.
Look at, there must have been water damage or something. You see the side of that, back, right there on that island? Or is that just the way the wood is, right there?
I think it's even. I don't know. It,
I think it's old, it shows its age.
yeah.
What
Kitchen
year
has
was this?
I think
not
it's a
been
shadow.
updated. 2000, I
Yeah.
think it said.
Oh, yeah, that is old then.
I
Yeah, like
think it was a
almost like
shadow.
Saltillo tile.
You know what they did is
counters.
they went ahead and fixed this one up. I bet you this
They
was
painted in floor. They
They
painted and
just
put in
flipped
new
it.
They
carpet.
did.
Yep.
Because they probably,
Yeah, you can tell that that's
It
new
was right
carpet.
before foreclosure or something.
Is this an offer up,
Offer
property?
pad, yeah.
Offer
Yeah.
pad?
Offer
You can,
pad.
you can
Open
look
door.
the
Is it offer pad or open door?
Offer pad. Derek Dixon, if you look at, I'll show you, broker metric stats. Notice how it says owner agent, he technically buys every single home, technically. And so he himself, I forget how many, he has like 800 sales in the last year.
Derek Dickerson?
Dixon, yeah, he's the,
He's an offer pad.
he's the
He
guy.
owns- He owns?
He's the
Yeah.
guy, yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if Monsoon will actually show him as the owner.
He's probably got under LLC or something.
Yeah. Yeah, but his, you'll notice every single offer pad home, shows up as, oh geez, hit how many wrong buttons now?
See, and he's gambling that it's the lowest price in the neighborhood for the value, you know, $133 a square foot. It's gonna go faster.
Okay,
Just
my
turn it around.
computer is acting really wonky. Ugh. It's not wanting to click sometimes. I don't know if it's my computer or what. I hope not, because this is a new computer.
Well, but we
You
kind
just
of
bought that
had
one, didn't you?
issues
Yeah.
with our computers here.
Is
so
that
I
a
think
Dell?
it's the location.
It is.
Is it, I was just gonna say, I don't even have the internet here yet.
Is it the same password or whatever? Because
For
mine connected automatically this time again.
Yeah, it is, breakthrough
Yeah,
5G.
I didn't have to type in anything.
Oh, for the internet?
Yeah,
I
same
didn't
thing.
either.
Yeah.
I had mine set to automatically connect.
Yeah, so literally we must be the exact same thing with Cox that we were last time. That's perfect. Okay, so in general, here's the other benefit if you actually did want to actually jump on this week. Look at this. So this is Dove Valley again. So now that we know the value we're looking for, look at this. 1,400, 1,500, you're at 259, 269,
Wow.
1,800. You got one here, 2,100, and then boom, right there. But notice this one, it's a one-story with a three-car garage.
Yeah.
2,100 square feet.
That's, yeah.
So it doesn't have a pool though, that's gonna be the big thing. So 317, no pool, $150 a square foot.
Wow.
Literally, look at this one, it's less expensive, but $150 a square foot. This one's way less expensive. Oh, look, it's getting more expensive per square foot. Yeah.
Oh
Your
my
least
gosh.
expensive homes in the neighborhood are almost always gonna be the least value in the neighborhood. So let's see if this one, $183 a square foot. There you go.
That is high.
Just because it's the least expensive doesn't mean it's the least expensive.
Right.
Yeah, you're paying what?
Way over.
This one's $50 more a square foot than that one. See, now if you go do an open house, you'd be able to rock the crap out of that one. Unfortunately, OfferPad, aren't they perpetually on open houses? So that one's gonna be a little
I don't know
tough.
much about OfferPad. I just heard about it on the radio, and I knew
It's,
the guy
it's like Open Door.
that. It is.
and-
They just go in there and buy out.
But they don't have the actual open house apps, right? Like they don't, because is it only Open
Oh,
Door that
OfferPad.
has the signs out, right?
Yeah.
You
and
can get into any.
OfferPad gives you access to, anybody can get
Right.
the access and go inside and look.
Yeah, but you have to have the app, because I got the app for Open
Uh-huh,
Door,
uh-huh.
then
But
for
it
app
means that if I'm a looker, I don't have to be an agent
to go look at it.
to go look at it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
And that's not safe.
No, it's not.
Yeah, like self-tour this home, download the OfferPad app. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if they would actually allow any outside agents, but I don't see why they wouldn't. You know, if you actually wanted to sit, put more signs out and do it, I don't see why they wouldn't. Because technically he's the owner of listing agent.
Right. So when you do an open house for somebody else, a different agent, in a different brokerage, you don't put your signs out there, do you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And they
no.
will allow
You
that.
create,
Okay.
you create your
I'm glad you brought
own
this up.
brochures.
Oh, you know why?
You
Because they're
create-
gonna sell it anyway, they don't really care,
They're
right?
the other side, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. I'm
Here's,
thinking, okay.
So
Yeah.
you're looking at.
no, there
your
are,
own
no, there are
broker.
some
Yeah.
brokerages that don't want to allow other people to sit there because of liability,
Right.
okay? There's another group where, put it this way, if you're a licensed agent, are you a licensed agent? Can you do an open house anywhere, basically? So, if I'm your broker, technically your listing is
Yours.
the brokerages, right?
Right.
Okay, so would I have any issue if he wants to do an open house if you don't want to?
Yeah, no, not a problem. Just get that thing sold.
Exactly.
All you care about is getting sold, yeah.
So the only real pushback you have are, number one, owner-occupied homes where they don't want outside agents. That's one thing, okay? Or another agent that probably isn't
It's not mine.
doing his or her job, and you're gonna make them look bad, okay? Those are pretty much the only real pushbacks you have, because almost no brokers are gonna say no, okay? If you wanna do an open house, you're assuming the liability, you're doing all that, just do it, right? So, if you're gonna call agents, they may not be too keen because they may not wanna ask the owner and do their stuff, which that's their bad, push back a little bit, because you're right, you should be able to do one, Are you doing one on Saturday? Cause that's why you don't want me to? If they say yes, well, that makes sense.
Right.
But if they say no, then it's like, well, so why don't you
Why
want
don't
me
you
to
want
do
to
one?
sell? Why don't you want this to sell?
Yeah, you're gonna take I'm gonna get my leads, and if I bring you a buyer, great, So, go out there, try it. You may need to call 3 or 4 agents, so be it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth it. And if you could cherry pick some of the best homes,
That's what
yeah. If they're your listings, you're stuck with your listings, which may or may not be great. It may take 12 turns to get to the house. But some other ones might take 2 turns, and you're gonna get a crap ton of traffic. And then that gives you the more leads to follow up with. So, to door knock a particular neighborhood, get your name known, start doing open houses in that same neighborhood, put out your signs, be there on a regular basis, right? And this home just sold, this home, I'm up, a door knock your open house. The moment you start that neighborhood, you're gonna become the expert very, very quickly.
Right.
Because a
you're gonna
lot
know
of
that.
people stopping by, it's like, I just want to see what this house looks like,
Right.
because I'm thinking of
Neighbors.
listing my house. And it's
Absolutely.
like, oh, good, so let's see what we got for you, and it's
Their house.
like, yeah.
That was Morning Glory. It was I don't know exactly how many doors up, but I went there door knocking just like I do on every one of my listings, and I got about 15 doors up across the street. Guy had the same floor plan. Well, I just assumed from the outside. I'm like, hey, I think I have the same listing right over here. He's like, you do? And he's like, oh, we bought ours a couple of years ago. We were thinking about it. It's like, well, let's go. So
Yeah.
we walked across the street. I took him on a tour. He's like comparing his house. We talked about what he can do, and then we went back over to his house. And he's not looking. He's probably going to be summertime by the time he's ready. But I've
Yeah.
kind of been
Just
following
wait at the
up.
door.
He stopped by this last weekend again because he saw my signs. He saw the signs out. So
Didn't we
Yeah.
have some training that 2 of us should be in the open house, 1 free to go and take?
If you
You know,
can,
if you can,
absolutely.
If you
yeah.
can, then the one, would stay there and keep receiving the people, but the other one would glean that person off and take them to go see something else.
Yeah.
The other thing that other person can do is go door knocking and say, hey, we have this open house listing down here, do you want to come and see it?
yeah, for safety, for being able to, I know, was it Monica and Sandy, or was it you and somebody?
Me and Monica, but I mean, even
Yeah.
Carrie and I.
Yeah, well, there was
Because we
one in
did-
particular. They literally went and started showing another couple homes.
Oh, it was Sandy and Chris.
Sandy and Chris. Okay. Yeah. And so they utilized, like, one family went through and they're like, we really like it, but I think they needed 4 bedrooms or something like that. So they pulled up a couple homes in that neighborhood and went and showed them right then and there.
And
The ones that were for sale.
Yeah.
And
you
call
could
the agent,
do
yeah.
some,
Yeah. So
Free
someone
work.
ran and it was
and
perfect.
learn about the
Absolutely.
homes in the area. Just,
Well, and that's the other nice thing about having your computer site. Well, come here, let's see it, let's pull it up,
Right.
This
Yeah.
is one of
That's
the
what
easiest ways to
happened
show
to
value.
that Hispanic family up in Black Canyon, because I was doing the open house for, what's his name?
Tom.
Tom.
Mhm.
And they had just come in towards the end, and they said, well, no, we saw a house behind Ron's Market and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it was like 15 minutes before I closed, so I closed up, took them over there, and then they wound up buying that.
Perfect. There you go. So you never know. And as a new agent, I feel so stupid. You guys went to this open house too. I was very, very first open house ever. Flying blind. I was at Prudential and I hadn't gotten any training on anything. And it's like, somebody told me I needed to do an open house. I was like, okay. So I went in my office and was like, anybody have a house I could do? And this one gentleman was like, you can do my listing. It's like, okay, great. Not thinking anything of it. It's a house in Whitman.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
like, okay, great. And this is, 2008, Whitman.
Oh my gosh, that's a bad time too.
It was right at the fall, like you're at Sapua,
Right.
right? And
What
so
do I do?
I don't know the rules about signs, nothing. So how many signs did I grab? 4? 3? 4? I didn't even get to grand.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Like I'm out of signs.
I had no idea. So we show up and, we're all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like, yay!
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a cooler, it's my first open house, invite the family, and it's this vacant house that the garage wasn't even attached. Like,
Oh my
it
God.
had a breezeway. It was nobody showed up. I mean, it was the most ridiculous. It was a learning experience. Let's say that. So
And you didn't get discouraged?
fast forward, I tried again because I learned. So, but nobody told me, and this was months, that I didn't know we were allowed to not just sell the home you're doing an open house on.
Then you could sell other ones.
Yeah, I thought my job was to sell. I'm sitting in this house. I'm going to sell this house.
Yeah.
And if the moment they said they weren't interested, I was like, donate, like, what is, and I didn't get one lead for like 3 months out of any open house because I thought I was supposed to sell this one. So finally, I got in with Prudential with their bank-owned home, and they did a massive open house event, and so I got assigned one of their listings, and they flat out said, sell them, any of them, we don't care, just if they don't like yours, tell them about the other ones, make sure, and if you can, nobody else there, call them up, and we'll make sure, and it was really cool how they set it up, so we ended up selling like 5 homes that day. It was really neat. I forget who it was one of the asset management companies at the time, and first time that it actually worked, and I got like 40 leads from it. I mean, they filled it up, and there was no power on at these houses. We were just supposed to be there to tell them about the other stuff, pretty much, and it was so cool, and that changed my whole life on open houses. They had companies out there putting out signs for us, and so that was my first time to there's signs. I'm like a mile away and I'm seeing signs. It was the first time you see how it was supposed to be done.
Right.
And just life-changing, let's just say that. So, awesome. Where was I going with that?
Well, we were talking about open houses and calling, other agents and saying, I'd like to do an open house.
Oh yeah, the power of teaming up. Even if
Right.
if you could do 2 houses together on the same street, 2 houses, I mean, so many different things. If you span too big of an area, it's too much. But if you see another listing on that same street, call that agent. Say, hey, I'm gonna do an open house on Saturday. Can
Right.
you do one on yours? Feed each other, twice as many signs.
Right.
It helps.
That's what Tom and I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one street,
The one on Squaw Peak and then Squaw Valley?
No, actually, when he first got into it, I was trying to become the agent of around where I was on Carroll.
Yeah.
And so I did an open house just 2 doors down from Carroll, and then he was one street over
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and stuff, but we
Oops.
thought we'd utilize the signs and use up our time together. And
Yeah, you don't even need, if you could be your own brokerage, that would be fantastic. But one of the benefits, like right here, you can pull right up. So you can, if you're doing, say you're gonna do this house, right? Call this agent, see if he or she wants to do one, call that agent, and call that agent. See if all of you can do the same weekend
Right.
at the same time, and it compounds your efforts.
That's when it was.
Just like bringing people into a car lot.
That's true,
Yeah,
that's true, and
that's
I
it.
never thought about that. Oh my gosh.
But I like the ideas of 2 people from our office teaming up and being out there to cover that loose end.
Well, and what's the benefit too? You can do twice the advertising. My contacts are different than your contacts, so you're both advertising that same open house, so
Right.
the likelihood of you getting more traffic through that same open house,
Right.
way greater too.
We've done that.
Absolutely.
We've done
But
that.
the other thing it does, it gives me the latitude to ask Charlotte, would you go get me a sandwich?
True. We need Starbucks.
Not up at Black
Well,
Canyon.
and you know what else is, it's really silly, you know,
Yeah,
these are the
orange
details. If it's been an hour, you've had nobody come through,
Mhm.
what's the chances of one of your signs falling down?
Yeah.
Stupid
It's a-
things like
It's a
that.
good idea just to go check the signs.
And if you have to close up to go check the signs, that sucks. Or if you could send somebody, hey, can you go check the signs really quick? You know, it's just, it's way better.
But we were even talking this morning that you can never have too many signs.
No.
Because we have found that actually when we become a little creative, that it actually draws more people.
Mhm.
But I love the fact, like Saturday, Fred, had a second person, because I actually had more people coming in, and so it's like, y'all just take a walk through, you know, and then I'm talking to these people, and then I'm trying to,
So
you know,
these
take
other
care of
people are
them,
kind of
and
being
then-
left out, yeah?
Yeah.
Whereas if there's two people there, you
In a perfect world, wait at the door, I'll be back, you know, and then you just keep
Right.
taking
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that's awesome. So, okay, so we've got, yeah,
No, go ahead, because I want to hear what you're going to.
I was gonna segue to the next, to the final topic, so.
Well, the other thing, because when we know that if we have an area that we want to target, and again, knowing how Black Canyon City is, but the other thing is, in marketing myself, you know, the beauty of what Facebook has to offer. So again, whether it's my database or just my sphere of influence, or maybe my past clients, or just my family and friends, I mean, it doesn't matter, but I'm just wondering if utilizing, you know, like for example, in my car, I turned over 50,000 miles. You know,
Sweet.
so I have a picture of the 49, you know, and then the 50, it's like, do you all feel like life is moving too fast? You know, but getting used to putting yourself out there to say, I just want to throw this out.
What's amazing, and so take a couple notes really quick, just make sure you have the right numbers, and it kind of tackles what my daily tidbits, because it was lead gen this week or whatever. So, open houses, 1 out of every 18 should turn into a sale. Okay, so if you do an open house a week and average 5 sign-ins, you should get 1 sale a month. That would be 12 sales a year. Okay, just by doing 1 open house. But you need to average 5 sign-ins. So that's the key, is how do you get those 5 sign-ins? You know, and that's where the Facebook, the Instagram, doing property tours, putting it on the MLS, putting it on Realtor and Zillow, making sure you're just tackling everything. You don't know where the buyer's going to be, so we literally have to tackle everything, right? So 1 out of every 18. If you have 1 out of 6, there you go, 3. 3 open houses can turn into a sale.
Yep.
I've had 1 open house, my best open house ever, I had over 50 people. I don't remember my exact time, but there was only 1, and I had over 50 people through. It was insane.
Wow.
I
What area was this?
that was it was a house right off of McDowell. It was the oh gosh. It was Coldwater Springs. It was that 1-story. It's a classic home. It was a lake community, not Coldwater Springs. That's the one south.
You're
What's the name of this
talking
community?
about,
Crystal Gardens?
There's Crystal Gardens and Garden Lakes.
No, it's not Garden Lakes, because that's the
So
other one. I think it's Crystal Gardens.
Oh, yeah, where the waters are around the
Yeah,
house.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 1-story. It was one of my Paycon homes. 1-story, 2,000 square feet, back to the lake with a jacuzzi, 3-car garage, and had 1 open house that first weekend. Had a crap ton of people through. Got the offer accepted, and then we think the previous owner came in and sabotaged the house. Literally cut all the water lines. So that Sunday, we were sitting in church, and my phone started blowing up. And
Oh, my God.
they're like, yeah, we're here for the home inspection, and there's water coming out the front door.
The
Oh, no
previous
kidding.
owner had gone in
They're
there?
the only ones we can think of that would go in there and deliberately
Was it
turn
foreclosed?
on the water lines.
Who
Like
had
they
the-
literally,
Who had the keys?
nobody. Like that's the thing, exactly.
Was it foreclosed on? or-
Yeah, it was a bank on home.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
And they were
Yep, yep.
angry and.
Yeah, but
Kinda
they literally just came in and they either cut the water line so the water came out or turned on the water. And so it was one of the few times that the bank actually, they cleaned out that house. Like they put in new carpet, they put in new cabinets.
Wow.
Like this buyer just lucked out. They
Oh,
bought
yeah.
a crappy bank-owned home and ended up with a brand new kitchen and drywall throughout. It was crazy.
Now they don't do
No.
it, they don't touch it.
I was surprised they did at that point in time. Okay, so 1 out of 18. Open houses are wonderful. If you can tackle your farm, that is one of your best sources where it's the 5% of people buy and sell per year, right? So if you're the go-to person, you're going to get that 5%. So if that neighborhood has 5 homes, that's 25 sales. I mean, 500 homes, that's 25 sales, and you can easily get 7, 8 of those easy. You know, if you're the go-to person. So door knocking, owning the neighborhood, open houses, farming, that whole thing just is perfect, okay? But that's not your only source, right? We all now today have friends and family, our acquaintances, our woodshop partners, friends, you know, we all have people. And that is hands down as a new agent or somebody getting started, you have your average of people, 5%. Okay, 5% of people buy and sell a home per year. That's just the thing. Homeowners, 5%, right? But your friends and family are also going to be your greatest source of referrals, and that's where Tom Ferry says that is going to be your 10%. You can get 10%. If you know 100 people, that could potentially be 10 sales a year if you're tackling them. But that's where the hard part comes in, because your friends and family are the hardest people to think of you as the professional agent,
That's true.
etc. I don't want to do business with family, or whatever excuse they might give, right? So that's where you're literally going to take your normal of 1 to 2 times a month that you're going to stay in front of people, and you're literally going to take it to 3. Okay, whether it's your just listed, just sold, quarterly calls to check in. Hey, friends, family, the market's hot. I don't have any listings right now. I need listings, people. Help me out. You know, we got to take advantage of this market. Whatever it might be, that's where you've got to do it. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, you know, whatever it is. You can't own them all, but pick one and try to build up your audience like you wouldn't believe. Facebook is not... I have my friends and family that I see, but for 90% of it, for me, it's a business tool, right? I have to do what I have to do, and that's what it's going to generate business and create word and make people know about Breakthrough. And that's my whole idea.
My friends and family, they were all most of the Midwest, or people in Black Canyon there, you know?
Well, there you go.
That's it, just a few in Black Canyon, and then the ones they're all in the Midwest.
Okay, what percent
So
of
it's like-
how many realtors are there? Okay, so you got Squaw Peak up there,
Yeah.
right? You got a few. What is it? A few Remax agents. You got a couple random other agents, right? But what? 30, 40 agents in Black Canyon City, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. How many sales are up there in Black Canyon City per year?
I don't know, there's quite a few.
It was 100.
Oh, yeah.
It was well over 100. I know that.
Yeah,
We could pull it up.
yeah,
This-
I thought there were quite a few.
Yeah. And you could definitely pull out a chunk of those just by being social. And that's where, like, I'm not sure to what extent, you know, you have, I know that, like, in front of Ron's, you had stuff, people posted
Right.
stuff, you know, I can tell you this much, the more open houses you do and you put 5 signs on Main Street somehow
Yeah, right there,
coming
yeah.
through, you know, they will see breakthrough. We ended up taking, I hate to say it, but we did more sales in Black Canyon than Squaw Peak did our first year, because we just, between Monica doing her open houses, you doing your open houses, Tom doing his open houses, it helped Breakthrough just get a word. And
I remember first seeing your signs and wondering, gosh, what company is that?
yeah, see, exactly. It just gets word out, and
Yeah.
you could. We can't buy them, but they're spot on every single one of those writers on those signs for a name writer or whatever you want. You could put Charlotte Ezel, Carrie. You could take your writers and put them right on top of everyone, so it says Breakthrough Carrie, Breakthrough Carrie, Breakthrough Carrie. It doesn't hurt, right? Let's see here. So my challenge to you guys, since we're finishing up, perfect.
Every night they do 16.
Okay, so.
You got it closed.
Yep, and then we want to get rid of that, and then we want to go off market in the last lot more would have happened. Oh, you know what?
You've
I have
got it on.
single family detached, don't I? No, I don't have any
you don't
dwelling
have
types.
any. So you've just got closed, but don't you mean,
I guess 50. I thought more. I thought there were over 100. I really did. I was way
I
off.
didn't think there was that many, so.
Well, nonetheless, that's still, I would imagine, more than one sale per realtor. And if you take the fact that half of them probably won't sell
yeah,
in general,
most of them are from Slot Peak.
yeah. Well, let's say, and I want to challenge you guys, you know, can we get close to half of those? Because I'd say Squaw Peak is probably the most
Yeah, because look
named.
at this, you got 1, 2, 3 so far.
Mhm. And I've heard some of the local businesses unfortunately say, because Jerry Kosluck, the insurance lady, she wanted me to sell her house.
Right there.
She wants way too much money. So
Right
I'm renting it out for her. Oh, that's another thing I have to ask you.
Yeah, Century 21 Desert Estates, they definitely have a little presence there. Yeah. But you got Squaw Peak, see Desert Estates. It's a couple different agents
I had one
there.
on there for $80,000. I should have had one in there for $80,000.
Did they not give you credit for
It
the
was a
sale?
mobile home.
Which one was it?
Oh, no, I was a buyer. I'm sorry. I didn't sell it. I was a buyer.
Okay.
That's right.
Remember the concept of the mega open house? I don't know how effective that is, but it creates interest among the neighborhood.
There's a lot of different ways to do it, and here's the big thing, okay? I'm a big fan of every open house trying to drive as much traffic as you can, okay? And too many agents are scared to put it out there, okay? Treat it like if it was your birthday party or you're throwing a graduation party for somebody or something significant, okay? Would you throw out one small blast email to a group of people and leave it at that? No, you'd be calling people, checking in. Hey, are you going to make it? Hey, I got something great. Is there any way you can come invite some people? You know, you're going to post it. You're going to send an email out. You might send a few actual mailers out to people. You're going to call a bunch of people, right? The day before, you're going to check to see who's coming. You're going to try to get ahead. I mean, you're going to own it. Nobody owns their open house for the same results. You can, right? So to that extent, you don't have to. If you're going to do an open house, there's no bad open house. If you're going to be sitting in your office making calls today, why don't you just grab 10 signs, go out to an open house, make your calls from there. That way you have the chance of somebody coming through. That's the only real benefit. Does anybody buy a house at the mall? No. But they get a lot of traffic coming through, so if you're going to be at an office, you might as well get where you can be, and that's where that model home center, you know, they just have a lot of people walking by that they're going to try to pick off of, right? So all things being equal, go to Starbucks and where you could actually stand a chance of talking to other people, you know? But an open house, if somebody stops, they're either going to be a neighbor, somebody who's potentially interested, or somebody who is interested. You know, that's the benefit of the open house. We're not in a big market where at any pick a retail store, okay? Most retail, you're going to sell a bunch in a day. You need people coming through a bunch. No, we live in a world where we just need one person and that can make all the difference in the world, right? So if you have 30 people through, that is the anomaly. Enjoy it, and you better run with all those freaking leads because that's not going to happen very often. But is it realistic to say 5 or 6 on any reasonable open house?
That's reasonable.
Yeah. Okay, so do 2 a week. You're going to make a great living.
Yeah.
Make sure you just follow up with those leads. Okay, so that's the open house. But I want to come back to our sphere because I want to challenge you all to do an open house this next week. Okay, come back and let's see how we can. Talk about your leads, how you captured them, whatever it might be. But this week, try to put your, and Mom, you know what I'm going to say, put your database together. Everybody knows people. It could be 1,000 agents, you have cards, you have your phone, you have your Google database. Put your database together in one Excel spreadsheet, if that works best for you. You could take an Excel spreadsheet and upload it to almost any program, any, you know, CSV file. So get your database put together, and if you can take that next step, what are you going to start sending people trying to get business? It is a historic market. If they own a home, now's the time to sell. If they're on the fence, before interest rates go up, between now and when it gets 100 degrees, that's our prime time.
Yeah.
People don't move here during the summer. Nobody likes to move during when it's 120 degrees. Between now and, let's say, end of end of April, money, that's our time, right? Buyers, first-time buyers, do it now before they get priced out. Or, there's so many different things. There's new home buyers. Learn all about a program and send it out saying, hey, did you guys know this program exists? So many different things. Find out if you need help coming up with topics. I can't send the stuff out because they have to be you guys. But there's no shortages of things to send out to people. You just have to start somewhere. And if you're only going to do one, Mom, what's the tendency when we only have one thing? How much do we try to fit into that one thing?
Too much.
Okay, but if you know you're going to be doing a sermon every Sunday for the next 20 years, can you pick bits and pieces and know that you're going to hit everybody over time? Absolutely. And that's what they can swallow. I'm learning. I'm not going to hose people anymore. I'm trying not to. So that's it. Do an open house and try to put your database together. All right? Rocking. Thanks, guys. At 8 o'clock on the dot.